Hey everyone, welcome to the Destination podcast. Today I am joined by the rat queen herself, Amber Falter.
That's the nicest introduction I've ever had. Thank you for having me.
Cheers. Not a sponsor, but we are living the high life.
It's just one of those days.
Okay, Fred Durst.
Fuck.
But hey, that song aged beautifully though, let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, because everything is fucked, everybody sucks. Like, nailed it. He called COVID.
He called COVID? What
Yeah,
line?
yeah, because the next verse, how's it start? I don't want to do the whole song.
You might have to.
Wow, now, wow, now. Just one of those days. The no human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker.
All right, there it
That's
is.
social distancing.
COVID-19,
Fred Durst called it.
That's it.
I'll say
You think he started COVID?
I mean, talk about the worst like marketing gimmick for a comeback tour, right?
Yeah. It's really
He's like, we're about to infect the country again. Oh. Yeah. What else do you expect from Jacksonville, though?
I don't know.
I drove through it once. I'm like, yeah, Limp Bizkit had to have happened from here.
Totally.
Like, it was like inevitable. Like
Yeah.
you could. It was like all the ingredients were right. But anyway, yeah. Enough about Limp Bizkit before I start getting sick.
Yeah, we are about to eat, by the way.
Oh yes,
We
are. And also, speaking of, normally I don't want to eat on podcasts because like I don't want like the weird mukbang creeps out there. Not to kink shame, but that's weird.
It's okay.
But I did make, in honor of the raccoon and the rat being together on film here, I did make this ungodly amalgamation. I don't have an exact name for it yet, but it is, let me try to remember everything I put in it. Tater tots, chopped up hot dogs, taquitos, Fritos, onion rings, chicken nuggets, beer cheese queso made with PBR, and fried onions as well, and shredded cheddar cheese, and yeah.
So this does not repulse me in the slightest.
No.
Actually, it smells like home. Basically, like, just full disclosure, I've eaten pizza 4 meals out of my last 5 meals this past couple days.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it just happens that way sometimes. But also, I grew up with a single father, so this is like basically what my body is made up of already.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like flattered.
It's
you're my
yeah.
dad now. Yeah.
Now that's gonna bring a whole nother different group of creeps.
Yeah, right, but yeah.
But no, I like I told her, I was like, my cooking style is just take a bunch of shit that already works well on its own, combine it all, and it's gonna be great.
How could it go wrong? Should we just have a bite?
Yes, I actually haven't even had it yet, and it's
Okay.
now probably room temperature. Like
Okay.
like the pizza I eat.
Like, yeah, that's
You got 24 hours where you can still eat room temp pizza.
Oh, I don't know that.
I mean,
I'll let you go first, and I'll talk while you bite it.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Well,
I said I'd talk and then I didn't. I froze because I'm really interested in your reaction. Are we gonna have like a heart attack together? How fun would that be? Can someone upload this if we die on this table at the same time?
I would say I didn't expect this to be how I would be trending, but okay. And yeah, it is. It's awesome. Not to toot my own horn, but
great. It's so good. Dude, this is everything you want with like a hangover. This is just take this to your next Super Bowl party. You got a whole year to perfect it.
That I do.
Damn.
Yeah. I actually I made a slightly less involved and like more hinged version of this. I'd say we went full unhinged for you, but
wow, honored, thanks.
But I made a slightly more hinged version. I took it to OU one time, and again the morning after a big old party, like this was gone.
Oh my god! Of course.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think that one I only did like a basic Fritos pie just with tater tots and hot dogs. I didn't add the onion rings, the various onions, the chicken nuggets, the taquitos.
You were younger then.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You had less money.
Yeah, I had the metabolism to burn through it. I didn't have to worry about chest pains after I eat. I'm there now.
What was like the first thing when I was little? Like I would just eat. I was too short to like reach the stove and stuff, so I would just eat raw hot dogs. But like then you know, I got taller, I progressed, like, you know, hot dogs into mac and cheese. What was like what was your first couple of like weird childhood experiments? You're like, I think this tastes pretty fucking good.
Actually, you're not far off from that. The Eckrich summer sausage. I would just like eat that raw, just chop it up.
Yep. Raw meat.
And with ketchup. Because all kids are gross and love ketchup.
Do you still like ketchup?
I do.
I do too. My thing is, I think people abuse ketchup.
Yes. Like they do.
So yeah, so all the restaurants I work at, like a burger joint. And when I'm there, I like see people use ketchup and I'm like, you sick motherfucker. Like, how could you? But then like I go home and I do the same thing. I'm like, who am I? But also it just like for some reason disgusts me because I'm like, I don't think I do that in public. Like I'm ashamed of who I am. But like, here's the thing. Ketchup in my eyes belongs on bad, poorly cooked potatoes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But like not grilled cheese. Like fuck off.
Or people that put it in mac and cheese. What are you doing?
Also no.
Yeah.
That could make me gag. Like I'm disgusting, but like, dude, I will not be putting ketchup on bread.
Yeah, ketchup on fast food burgers. Like if I'm going to a place that actually, you know, is like a kind of higher class burger joint, yeah, I would never dream of putting ketchup on it. But yeah, like, you know, McDonald's, Burger King, all that. Yeah, put the ketchup on.
You're at a diner, give me the Frank's hot sauce and ketchup for my hash browns.
Yes.
I'm not asking for much.
But yeah, and who was it? I think one time I saw someone putting ketchup on pizza.
Did you kill them? Are they dead?
Well, I mean, I called the cops. I did, but
that's great.
Yeah, and then I don't know. There's like I'm sort of pseudo have ties to Pittsburgh, so like I also, as much as I will every now and then talk shit about ketchup, I will talk more shit if I see someone not using Heinz.
Oh my god! Ew.
Like
true.
quit trying to be. Quit trying to be better than Heinz. Like they've nailed it. They perfected it.
Absolutely. There's so
like
many...
I want sugary tomato smoothie. I don't care.
Ew.
If you think about it, that's all ketchup is.
It really is. It's always like my dad would just shop at like, and God bless Aldi, we love her now, you know. But but my dad would just like be so cheap growing up, or like go to Walmart and buy like the Great Value ketchup. And even as a kid, I was like, Daddy, what is this poison? It was so gross. Ew, off-brand SpaghettiOs from Aldi. If there's one thing they don't get right, it's that. I'll eat cold SpaghettiOs to this day as a fucking meal, dead sober. But oh my god, I think I remember the taste of lead in the Aldi SpaghettiOs I ate growing up. And I only pushed this away because I ate a fuck ton before I got here, and I'm shaking because of the Red Bull. But I'm not going to not finish that when we're done recording, or just throughout. You know. And
there's a nice take home.
He's got plenty.
Make sure you bring that pan back for our show, April 1st at the Homestead Cherry Valley Public House.
I'm so excited.
I didn't plan on plugging it right there either. That was very organic.
So organic.
Please bring that pan back though. It's a Cake Boss pan. That's really nice.
Did you ever watch that?
My mom did. She's the one that bought it for me.
Wow, big Cake Boss fan.
Yeah, I think it was like, it might have been the year I bought this place. That Christmas, my mom bought me a Cake Boss brand set of pots and pans. I'm like, it was this or Pioneer Woman, I guess.
Yeah.
For the aesthetics, at least that's neutral enough. Like what I got going on, the very dark shades here. Yeah, the very floral Pioneer Woman would have not fit the vibe, the chic, the feng shui. But
I'm jealous of your Cake Boss pans. He taught me how to eat cupcakes, right? Yeah. Y'all know that trick? You describe it if you know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Floor is yours.
So I watched a lot of Cake Boss back when it was popular, and I was depressed. But he was standing in line after an episode of him screaming about flour or whatever, and there's like the end of the episode. They're like, well, everything worked out. We made Bethany's cupcakes, and aren't they so good? Thanks for joining us. And then there's like a whole line around the neighborhood, probably because they're like hey guys, we have a really big record day, and like you can all be on TV if you stand in line like a bunch of little hungry fuckers. So there's like all these cute little families standing outside like smiling, and like you can tell all the moms put on like a fuck ton of makeup, like somebody fuck me. And it was real cute. So there's like this little girl, and Buddy walks up to it as the camera like pans away, probably some like old bad like drone footage or something. But he's like, oh, you like cupcakes? And she's like about to bite into it like a monster.
Yeah.
But then he's like, here's how you do it. And he breaks the bottom off, puts it on top, cupcake sandwich.
That's right.
That's right. Best. It's the best. And it keeps you from getting all messy.
Mess free,
like,
yeah. Every now and then when I eat a burger, especially more high-end ones where they put a lot of toppings on it, I will flip it up in reverse.
Oh, what's the...
Because the bottom bun is always so much thinner than the top. And all of the grease and stuff gets in, and that bottom part gets soggy. Yes. So it's a lot easier to control when it's on the top than it is on the bottom.
Got it.
You only got the two thumbs.
You heard it here. You only got the two thumbs.
Yeah,
okay.
Right here. This guy's 2 thumbs. Yeah, because then like instead of having like the four fingers, wait. I'm forgetting my own reasoning here, but I have science behind me. God damn it!
I'm here for it. We got time.
Because the thumbs are the strongest finger, so like any movement will tear the soggy bottom, and no one likes the soggy bottom.
I feel like this is something that's been said to me during sex.
What the 2 thumbs in it, or just the soggy bottom part?
The thumbs in the soggy bottom. Probably similar. Okay, but that makes sense though, because it can be all torn up, that soggy bottom.
Yeah. Plus any residual juices from the bite. Again, if it's a good burger that that squirts when you eat it, the burger, not the soggy bottom. If the soggy bottom squirts when you eat it, you don't want that. You don't want that. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, throw some flour in there, dry it up a little bit.
Or cat litter.
Cat litter.
Okay, that's what I use.
We call that. Yeah, I'll say we call that clitty litter then.
Hey, sexy. Cool.
But anyway, yeah. Try it. Flip your burgers. Let me know what you think.
As a person who's eaten a lot of burgers, thank you. Never heard of that. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I get so pissed when I go to a place. Like I love a smash burger. Fucking something that fits in everyone's normal size goddamn mouth. Because I hate when I'm taking a bite of a burger and it's so thickly layered like that. And it's like, oh, I guess for now I'll have one bite of the bun and then a bite of lettuce. Like I can't be able just make it all fit in my fucking mouth at the same time.
That's one thing. That's one thing I will give Burger King's Whopper credit, because their burgers are so wide.
Yes.
Like if you compare like a Wendy's Dave's single or a Dave's double to a Whopper, the Whopper is flat but wide.
Yeah.
So that way, again, you're getting the full flavor profile in every bite instead of, again, something that you're like having to unhinge your jaw for like a snake. And
be selective. Yeah. That's so annoying.
Yeah.
Speaking of burgers, I really love Preston's, and I feel they're so fucking lovely, and I'm just obsessed, and I hope they live forever. They just opened their new spot in Clintonville, Combustion, and I've gone I think I went 3 times in 1 week, like a week ago. Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you heard it here. Check out Preston's.
We love it.
So we'll get a little backstory here for those of you who don't know. So how long have you been doing comedy?
Gosh, I mean, I guess like 9 or 10 years now, but it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but that's how long. At least I've been trying to.
Right. And did you start you started in Columbus, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I grew up in Pickerington, Ohio, and then ended up at OSU, but that's when I kind of started when I was 18, I would sneak into open mics and stuff. And my friends and I would drive from Pickerington where we lived, and we put a case of natty, hot natty, of course, never cold. We put it in the trunk of their car. Then we'd beg some older boy to buy us, and then we'd park in a parking lot and chug it, and then go to Surly Girl or whatever and just watch. So that's when I first started getting interested in it, I think. But fun times, very illegal times.
Right.
So
I'll say most times you get a fake ID, it's to go to nightclubs, and then here you are going to open mics to see.
What a waste of my time. Yeah. And now I'm old enough to go to them, and I don't go to enough of them. Yeah,
right.
It's funny.
Yeah. See, like that's why like we need to like like make the drinking age 18 and like everything 18, because then by the time like you're our age, it's not cool anymore.
It's not fun to go to. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then less people will do comedy, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say because that's
ahead.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. If there's one thing we need is more straight white guys talking about their dick in a microphone.
That's fine. That's really all my set's becoming. I'm the newest all white male cis comic. Fun.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Titties.
Yeah.
Big boinks.
Oh, if only I could see my dick through my big old titties.
That's right.
It's a direct line from my act. You got that for free. You're welcome.
I love that. That's nice.
I know. Stand-up comedy is at its best when it's a satire of itself.
Aw.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. I'll say I'm saying my own jokes that I say non-ironically, ironically.
We're like, come to the show. Here's our set.
Right.
It's fine. But yeah, I feel like that's when I kind of got into it, and then really, I don't know. Yeah. I forget what I was going to say. ADHD dog,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
fun stuff.
Wait, there's a dog?
I wish. There's many dogs in my house.
I'll say everyone tells me I need a dog, and I'm just like, I can barely take care of myself. I'm like, I don't need another.
That's fair. I have 2 dogs, and I like.
They are adorable, by the way.
Thank you. They're lovely. Yeah. They're so weird. But I think because of them, I'm better to myself, if that makes sense. Like, they're like at the door, like, we should go outside. And I was like, I guess you're right. So yeah, they get me out more
they give you purpose at times. Yeah.
I did get my first dog because I was so suicidal that I told my roommate, I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna get a dog. And she was like, I don't know if we should. And I was like, no, I don't think I have a reason to wake up anymore, and I really need one. And she was like, yeah, let's get a dog. Yeah. And bless her heart, I didn't have the money to adopt him, and she brought the money.
Oh,
I think she just didn't want to find a dead body in the house. Who could blame her?
Yeah.
So.
I'll say, not gonna lie, that's one thing. Even though I still live alone, like there's also that idea of like, if I do die, like my mom's gonna like after a week of me not answering calls or texts, she's gonna like break into my house and just see like the dog eating my dead body too. There's that whole thought too.
And how can you resist when you're full of Fritos and onion rings?
Right. Now, if it, like, since I don't have the dog, like if she does that, all she's gonna do is just see me with a pocket pussy next to me, and laying in bed, which I don't know, might be more traumatic to her than seeing the dog eating her baby boy. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
let's get you a dog. I think we're gonna have to get you. On that note, I'm gonna do your mom a favor and get you a fucking dog. I'm just gonna drop one off. That's one I don't like as much as the other, so she might be yours. Oh. You can have Tiny. She's a fucking piece of shit. But.
She's the one I see the most too. Like when you like
take about the most?
A lot. Like she's always asleep. Like you never.
She might be dead.
You never get her consent when you put her online. That's probably a whole issue.
Yeah, we don't really respect each other.
Yeah. There's some boundaries that you're crossing.
That's fine. She doesn't respect the boundaries.
All for the gram. Yeah.
All for the gram. Yeah. She's doing it. She's doing it for content. She's really helping me out, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of pets, I almost adopted though. There's actually a skunk down the street, and oh my god, I fucking love skunks so much. All of the forbidden cats, like possums, foxes, cats, raccoons, all of us, I love them all. Like regular cats, I'm like, yeah, they're lame at this point. Yeah, we've had them for so long, they're not cool anymore.
Right.
But the idea of domesticating a raccoon.
It's so good. It's so gorgeous.
Shout out to Caitlin Simmel. Great art capturing my aura, my essence.
It's so good. And excuse me, I just burped.
Yeah,
you're High Lifes and sugar-free Red Bulls, dude.
Leave it. I'll say that's what the troops are fighting for.
Dude, okay, actually just yesterday, speaking of being stinky rodent people,
yes,
I was just like on Instagram and like, I don't know, I have a couple tattoos. They're all fine. But I saw this guy and he posted a picture of a little stinky skunk holding a flower. Mm-hmm. And I made an appointment and I'm pretty sure I'm getting that tattooed on my body. Okay, so gun to your head, would you get a pet skunk or pet possum? So tough.
If the skunk was deglanded, a skunk.
Okay.
Because apparently they behave more like cats. But also I just relate to possums more. because we're both covered in hair. We're both frighteningly ugly. We scare people, and we eat garbage.
Oh my god. They are
raccoons because I have bags under my eyes too.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sure, you're a little bit combination of all of it.
I love small petty crime.
Yes. So my dog Tiny, she's like a Chihuahua mix, and I know for a fact her mom was a Chihuahua, but we don't know what the dad was because she was just her parents. I don't know. Whatever her mom was, she was just a dog in a trailer park that probably got raped by like we think a raccoon. But like she's so fucking weird. She's not like a dog. I don't understand it. But I worked at I volunteered. Give me credit. I'm such a good person. I was like trying to get college credits for it. And it didn't work out because I did it wrong. But I did. I spent a whole sweaty summer volunteering at this wildlife center. And I had raccoons. I had fox babies I got to feed. And I had a whole enclosure of baby fucking skunks, which can't spray you yet. They like buzz around my little feet, and they'd come running for me, and I'd walk in with all these like little nasty dead mice and stuff to feed them. I'm like, my babies. They were so fucking cute, dude. They are. Oh my god. I think I'd have to go with a skunk because they're almost like ferrets that probably don't. I mean, if they are declanded, don't stink as bad. Right? Ferrets smell like absolute butt cracks
all the time.
Why?
All the time. Yeah.
You can't fix it.
No, like that's saying skunks can turn it on or off.
Yeah.
Also, like I would definitely love to have a skunk too if I smoked pot, because then people would like they'd be thrown off every time they walk in. It's like, man, it smells like fucking skunk in here. And then you see a skunk walk around, and they're like, oh, that's why. And as soon as they leave, it's like they don't know you're deglanded, buddy. We're blazing. We blazing.
Why don't you get one for your car so you can blaze in case the cops pull you over, dude?
Right.
God, I hate it.
Car skunk with a little mini seatbelt. That's adorable. Okay, wait. That's adorable.
We're about to go get some skunks.
Yeah.
Let's get wasted and go get skunks.
Fuck yeah. I'll cheers the highlights of that.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Actually, I had
highlight is so good.
I had same. It's my cheap shitty beer of choice.
It's best.
Yeah.
Best.
I was in the process of losing house. And alcoholism. It's not thrifty. And I had to like really buckle down, PB&J, ramen, suspicious canned meats, for a couple months.
Yeah, sausages for days.
That's right. Like, yep.
For fun.
Yep. And then my beer, because I only drank like very pretentious craft beer from the time I was 21 to about 25.
Sure.
Miller High Life. That's the commercial. That's the sponsor.
And scene.
Yep, exactly. Shortest ad ever. You don't even got to skip it. Just.
I just lost my house, but then I started eating more ramen, canned meats.
I started drinking more Miller High Life. But no, that's why I was like, even at my lowest, I'm never too poor to drink. Ironically, so I switched to drinking strictly Miller High Life for a couple months.
And he saved your life.
Exactly. When I look back at the footprints in the sand, when I see only one set, it was then Miller High Life carried me.
Oh,
yeah, I'll make that as a poster.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, but so actually, speaking of craft beer, as well, we're doing a show, Homestead Cherry Valley Public House. Come by for some excellent comedy and also delicious craft beer.
Oh yeah, love Homestead.
Yeah, same. Been very good to me and my family, and by family I mean me. And the skunks that we're about to adopt.
I literally was about to say that. We are best friends.
Yeah. I actually had skunks that burrowed under my deck and like were living there.
No.
And like I actually, when I realized what they were, I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna start the friendship process. And like I would leave food out every now and then.
Oh my god, I love it.
And right as they finally saw that I was their gracious benefactor, and they came up to me, I got to feed one. And then immediately, neighbor across the street called animal control, and they took my babies away.
They took my babies. That sucks.
I was saying.
My friend has baby possums in her backyard right now, and she also feels how we feel about them.
Yes.
And she's like, I just don't know what to do, but they don't be stinky, so whatever.
Right.
She's got a dog that's probably gonna rip them in half. Oh, that sucks. So actually, I know we're trying to move on to a different subject, but there's a fucking God, I don't want to say the wrong word. Mentally ill rabbit that like has fucking babies in my yard every fucking spring, and I have a small little fence. Okay, there's plenty of fields around me, but I have this tiny little fenced-in enclosure for my dogs. And this fucking hoe comes in and makes a nest in the middle of my yard, and I always forget when it happens, but I'll start seeing her. My dog starts seeing her. I'm like, oh, you bitch! And then inevitably, my stupid fucking dog. He really likes small animals. They're both very good with small animals.
No,
but they will. He's so excited to see these baby rabbits in the nest. Of course, he like just wants to sniff them, but he sniffs them to death, and he just like slowly, like kind of, you know, mortal pesters their little bodies and makes them all gooey, and they're bleeding for the eyes and the ears by the time I find them. It's traumatic every spring, and I'm looking forward to April.
Yep, right around the corner.
George Michael, you big fucking idiot. So, can't wait for that.
I say you just gotta have faith.
Have faith. I do have to have faith. I'm never gonna dance again.
Though. Or as Limp Bizkit would say, you gotta have faith. Get the fuck up.
That's so good.
I hate that I brought Limp Bizkit back.
It's
God
okay.
damn it.
It's okay. He'll come back.
I'll say, because if there's anyone we're trying to bring back, it's Creed. Damn it.
Creed. Oh my god. What about Seether?
I actually do unironically like Seether.
That's fine.
Yeah, and I tying it together. Their cover of Careless Whisper, I do love it.
What?
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking great.
I'm listening to that on the way home.
Yeah. It's like
this.
Like they do, like because they do that main on guitar, and it has this really like hard rock bluesy feel that like takes the song to like a whole nother level. It's great.
I can't
Yeah. No, I would say if we're talking shit about bands, don't get me wrong, I don't like Nickelback either, but they get more hate than they deserve.
Totally.
They need to take like 25% of the Nickelback hate. They need to give 5% of it to Theory of a Dead Man, and then they need to give the other 20 to Stained.
Okay, I don't know Theory of a Dead. Do I know?
They're just horribly mediocre and try-hardy.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. And then Stained is just like the death rattle of rock and roll. They were like so corporate, so manufactured back in the day. And Aaron Lewis himself, he's also just a dick.
Really?
Yeah, he went country there for a while, and like he went on like this like big long like there was Latina person in the front row, and like he like just saw him and like just like a dog just started like, you know, verbally attacking the guy.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, cool. I hope he does.
Exactly. So like, yeah, take some of that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Nickelback, they're plenty douchey enough, but like, you know, take some of that hate, give it to Stained. So craft beer, that's where we were before we went on a skunk and butt rock tangent. So yeah, craft beer. So you also you've worked in many bars in your time as well, which also, I mean, it's pretty, you know, a good spot for stand up is, you know, like craft beer, like breweries and stuff like that. So like, so which came first, like you doing an open mic or working or attending bar?
So I was attending bar first.
Okay.
The first bar I worked at was like a college bar, and it was 19 years old, so I could legally serve the alcohol but not make it.
Right.
So I was like a cocktail waitress in a sea of college kids who did not give a fuck. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. I'd go into work usually around 3 p.m. and I wouldn't get home on a good night until 5 in the morning. And I was in school, and it was a really bad time. So around then, like, that was like the first like experience I had, and I was like, man, this sucks. Like, and I'd work that long, and they'd make like $96. It was, and the bartenders were like, oh my god, we only made $500 each tonight, and I was like, I'm gonna go fucking kill myself. It was such a bummer, but I was like, I want to be a bartender one day. And then after that, I found like respectful places to work. Right. When I was like more 21 and stuff. So
that's when you found Applebee's, no?
And that's when I became the manager of an Applebee's. No, but yeah, breweries were the first place where I felt like I didn't have to learn how to make a fucking stupid drink, but I could also just like enjoy talking to people.
Right.
And like, you know, sipping on a drink. And I really liked how it's obviously more calm vibe, right? Like people are drinking and enjoying a craft beer versus like, I need 16 Vegas bombs stat, you know?
Yes.
And I was like, I'm not doing that for anybody, especially when those people are like younger and partying or already so drunk, and like half the time, like it's just really up in the air with tipping sometimes. But I don't know. The craft beer scene has always been really good to me. So
I know, and they're here lately. They've merged too with the emerging like bourbon whiskey scene too. So like, if you're getting cocktails at a brewery, you're almost only doing like old fashions or stuff like old fashions.
All the cocktails, old fashioned stuff like old fashioned.
If I am doing bourbon or whiskey, I just get it straight. I don't worry about it in cocktails. Although
I'm not unzipping my pants, I'm unzipping my boots. They're really tight. It's okay. They're from Marshalls.
You're good.
They're cheap. They're cute.
Right.
Thank you.
No. Where was I going? Oh yeah, mint juleps. I love the idea of the mint julep just because like it's so pretentious. And it's like I want to like do like if I was going to a place I knew had mint juleps, I would dress to the nines. I'd do like the Kentucky Derby stuff.
Straight up.
But yeah, do you have what would you say are your top like 3 favorite like craft beer styles?
Honestly, I am so I'm so relaxed. Like I'll drink anything, and I'm just not picky, and I'm always willing to try something. But to be totally honest, after learning about the brewing process, I really can, especially for these more like microbreweries and stuff, like there's always so many IPAs and stuff like that, which I think, and I don't know, fucking cancel me beer culture. But like anyone can throw a bunch of fucking hops into a beer and be like, look, it has flavors, but it takes a lot to make a really good lager or pilsner.
Yes.
So I'm fucking obsessed with those. Like, I think Gemüt does a really beautiful job with all their German style. I'm German. All their like Helles lagers and everything. Just so good. But I love, any like Czech pilsners or anything. Yes. All that.
Again, like I've brewed it myself once, but then just being around breweries also, like the reason that the IPAs are so huge is like breweries themselves, they're kind of pushing any ales because ales they have quicker turnover time. Ales take less time to ferment than lagers do because lagers, I think lager is like the bottom fermenting, and then ales are top fermenting, and that just helps it the time. So yeah, a lot of craft breweries don't want to tie up a vat that could potentially turn over 2 types of ale versus a 1 lager.
Sure.
And yes, in the last couple of years, I've made the switch to like more lager styles myself too.
Yeah.
But I mean, porters, stouts, I like dark beers too. Hefeweizens, Helles lager again, also very, very underrated. The Helles lager. So
much, and I think I'd start with like pilsners, lagers, and then my second would probably be oh my gosh, you just mentioned it, Hefeweizens. I love.
Yeah,
it can be so fun and so light.
Yes.
And just like airy and cute. But then after that, like I do appreciate like a good IPA.
Yeah.
But there's just so many that I'm just
that one's a pretty saturated market. Yeah.
How do we feel about hazies?
Over them.
I can't. I feel like I'm drinking like dredge water from Buckeye fucking Lake. I feel like it's just like it's like I don't like it. Everyone's like it's kind of like a milkshake. It's not. Have you ever had a fucking milkshake? I don't want
the word milkshake IPA.
Thank you.
I don't.
I want a beer. I want ice cream. They're 2 very separate things.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like or also not only just the hazy craze that swept the nation the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Also, making beers nitro that have no business being nitro.
Ooh, hit me. What's one that you have?
Nitro IPAs. People make nitro IPAs. Right. That's so counterintuitive to the different profiles.
Yeah.
The idea is nitro accentuates the rich, creamy texture, but hops they're bright, they're sharp, they're floral. And like you would, I don't know. Someone could make the argument of like, well, yeah, that way it's somewhere more in the middle. And I'm like, yeah, well, the middle sucks. Give me one. Yeah. I would say it takes some time to get to the middle, but I don't want to be on that ride.
No. Yeah. What an interesting thing. What are your like? I feel like I've gotten away from stouts and porters just because I feel like I'm eating a meal, and I'm just like at that point where it's like if I'm going out for a beer, like I don't know. I'm so far away from them now, but I really do like some of them. Yeah.
I'll say, well, when you're at Homestead, try the Bison, which is a bourbon barrel aged stout, or also they have the Upper Cup, and that's probably my go-to because like I love a good coffee porter too.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
I can't remember where I was. I had actually Pickerington Pride here, Combustion has probably my favorite. The Mayflower Macchiato Stout is probably the best coffee beer I've ever had. I've had a lot of good ones, but that one's probably the best.
I have to say, I just, as someone from Pickerington, like when I first heard about combustion, I was like, oh my God, my friends that still live in Pickerington, like they want me to come meet them out at this fucking brewery. And I went, and every fucking beer I tried, I was like, nailed it, solid, amazing.
Blue Note, one of the best blueberries I've ever had.
Dude, wait, I haven't had that one either.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just so impressed.
Blueberry cream ale, it's great.
Bravo.
Yeah. No,
seriously, they're doing great. I'm also obsessed with gosh, oh my God, they're from Athens. I talk about them all the time. Little Fish. Never been there. I want to marry you. Can you guys please fuck up one beer so I can't be so in love? They literally, oh my God, every style they make is like so goddamn drinkable, and they get me when I'm out at a different bar because I try to find something light. But any style of theirs I see, I'm like, I'm willing to try it. And I'm always so impressed.
Speaking of Athens, that time I brought this monstrosity to OU. I was there. I also was bringing a friend of mine some stuff they forgot from back home, and I was like, I have the weekend free, and like I want to go check out OU. So I went, and so there was like this like hour at 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock was not available, and I got there at like 1:15 because I just ran into like a detour that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, I can't get out till after 4. So I was like, I have 3.5 hours to kill on a Sunday at 1:15, and Jackie's was open. So I go there, and they had 36 beers on tap at the time. Yeah, fucking monstrous tap wall. And I was like, I'll do a flight, obviously, because like we've had like the classics, we've had like the Mystic Mama, we've had the Firefly, we've had the ones you see everywhere. So I was like, this is my chance, have some new stuff. And they're like, we do flights. And I was like, okay, how much in a flight? It's like, you can do up to 10. I had all 36.
Oh, no.
I was piss drunk by 4:30 on a Sunday. The sun was out.
That's hilarious.
And I was like slurring my words, stumbling, blackout drunk.
I love it. They're so good too. And I've always loved their artwork and their culture. Like this, they're so great. I'm so excited for their new space downtown too, because I got to do a show there that was secret a while ago, and it was really lovely. They're just so great. They're amazing to work with, and their product's awesome.
Yes. But let's see, where was it going with the craft beer thing? I don't know. The high life is messing with me now.
The high life's getting to us.
Yeah. So how long have you been producing shows?
I feel like around 23, 24, my age at that time. I'm trying to think I was like a few years in, and I was kind of the reason I started was I was trying to raise money for a thing that my friends all work really hard at. I think it's still called Women Have Options, or they're changing the name, but basically I have a lot of friends that do a lot of fundraising for like abortion access and all that stuff. So I really wanted to help, and I was like new to comedy, and I was like, well, I see people put on like comedy shows to raise money. So that was the first Stand Up for Choice I ever did.
Okay.
And I think I called it something different, but then I met a good friend, Pat Deering, who became my co-host. So we started doing that as often as we could, basically quarterly. So probably been producing at least 7 or 8 years now. Okay. And that was like such a very different beast because it was very, in a way political and divisive and
I mean, that's diving into the deep end right away. But it's important to do.
Yeah, and I took a lot of pride in it, and it I don't know, it was something that like I knew in my heart I cared about, and I was like, I just want to like give them some money. Like I don't know how to like help them. And then it really built on itself, and I think we raised anywhere from $600 to $2,700 in one fucking comedy show.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, I always knew how broke I was, and to this day, I really like accessibility to shows and stuff if I can. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you want to value yourself, but also like I've been so broke, I only have $5, and I want to laugh too. And so like I try to make space for that. So back then, I was like, donate what you can. If you just want to come laugh and support, that's fine too. Because there's value in that. You're making connections and all that. Yep. So we took so much pride in that show, and I do hope to bring it back eventually. And Ace of Cups always housed us, who are just the coolest place ever. I was like an idiot. I was like, I want to do a comedy show here. I'd never done one. And like somehow like 80, 100 people showed up. And I was very lucky for that. But they let me keep doing it, even though I had no idea what I was doing, which was really great. So, but yeah, that system of like donate what you want, you know, was really fun. And then at the end of the night, my door girl, she would count the money. We'd bring her on stage, like, how much did we raise, Fiona? And she'd like say this number, and everyone would just start crying, and it was really lovely. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been like probably 7 or 8 years, and that's where it started. But
okay, yeah, that's awesome though. And I didn't know that Stand Up for Your Choice was like your first of shows too.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, it was bold.
I mean, I hosted an open mic, and a glorified open mic basically, because it was like I didn't have enough for a scene here in Newark, so I was asking Columbus people to come. Yeah. So it was a booked open mic at first. That's great. But I did a couple of those, and then my first like real production was the Roast of Batman, and that was one that was the one that involved like costumes. I wrote out like I sketched out a whole opening fight scene for the whole thing too.
I love that.
Yeah, I wish it went better, but. That part, yeah. The lines got botched, and everyone's like, I was like, just fuck it, everybody get up on stage right now.
That's great.
But I mean, the show itself went great, and but yeah, that was the first, and then
when was that?
That was right before the world shut down.
Got it. That was when you put on your first show.
February 7th, yeah. Damn. That was when I put on my first like real big time show.
Fuck yeah.
Because there was a joke.
So good at it.
There was thank you. Yeah. There was a joke made about COVID-19, and the thing is, at that time, it was still a joke. It was still a joke, yeah. And then, yeah, a month later, it was so not a joke.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, but then, yeah, and then, so you don't do just the Stand Up for Choice, though. You have a couple of different projects for different venues, different themes and stuff. So, one, I am so in love with the idea already. Please describe Beef Ghost.
Thanks. So Beef Ghost is the weirdest thought I've ever had in my brain that I wanted to share with people, I think. But the history of Beef Ghost, basically my family has owned a meat packing plant in Columbus, Ohio for over 130 years. Wow. So fucking weird. So my great-great-grandfather, Herman, came over from Germany.
The German. Herman the German.
Wait, I never realized that line. I'm 31. What the? Wow. Cool. Okay. So
that's what you get for being so smart. You miss all that low-hanging fruit that I'm getting all the time.
Yeah, smart. Yeah, for sure. Tell my dad that.
Herman the German. Here we here.
Do you like SpongeBob? I love SpongeBob.
I love SpongeBob.
we can. I forget what the fuck character that was, but anyway. If we think of it, shout it out. But he came over from Germany in like probably 1870 something, and he learned the art of butchery. And then of course he settled in German Village, in Columbus, Ohio. So we were probably the only meatpacking plant there, and it's been there on the river, off of Greenlawn Avenue for all that time. He built houses on it. I now live in one of those houses. It's like, I call it Meat Campus. My brother lives next door. My uncle lives in the other house. It is like a week ago I was baking, and I called my brother. I was like, you got any butter to spare? I'm making pie, you know? And it was like I ran to him. I got butter. I went to my uncle's. I got milk. It was so cute.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still running and operating, and we still like make product and stuff. It's so weird. So I don't know. I was working there, and it's very ancient, and like we used to slaughter there. There's like big haunted barn. There's all this unused space. And to be totally transparent, I was doing stand-up at the time, obviously, and I had gone on the road to Detroit, and my friend was like, hey, like, we're going to go to this comedy show. I was like, sick. And we weren't on it. We were just going to go watch. And like, literally, it was the most Detroit thing I've ever seen. They were like, I was like, what's the address? And they were like, follow the graffiti. Tuck and roll. And like, you follow this graffiti, you tuck and rolled under a fucking garage door, and then you stood up and you were in a recycling center, and there was like a guy on like driving around like a forklift, and he's like, welcome to the show. There's liquor in the grocery cart. And I was like, I fucking love Detroit so much.
Right.
And it was a show called Chucky Finster. So anyway, it was in this big warehouse. I was like, I got a big warehouse. So then I went home and I was like, if I did a comedy show at the slaughterhouse, what would it be called? And we no longer slaughter there, right? So I was like, it would be called Beef Ghost. It was the first title I thought of, but I was like, it's just so stupid.
Yes.
So I did. I bullied my family. I was like, let me put on a comedy show here. But they were like, well, like liability and insurance and like, I don't know. Can you like serve liquor? So basically there's a big empty garage. I was like, just fucking let me try it once. And so I had people buy tickets and I was like, dude, just Venmo me $15 in your home address. And I like treated it like it was my wedding day. And I made these like little envelopes with a map and tickets and stickers. And I was like, follow the map and you'll find the Beef Ghost. And I never even said it was a comedy show. I was like, you just show. I would love the idea, but I was like, you don't even know what this is and you're stupid and you're buying a ticket, aren't you stupid fuck? But obviously,
everyone loves a treasure hunt. That's why.
I know. I was like, who cares? Like, I never did like fun birthday parties growing up because my mom was a piece of shit. Like, I never had all these fun themed things. That's why I love that you do themed shit. Like, but I was like, I'm just gonna go all out. It's almost like a scavenger hunt. Like, why not? And it was like so fun. I sold out so quickly. So now it's kind of like don't tell comedy where it's like the idea is I'll do it whenever, but also I really go hard when I do it. Like I make it like as big and fun and crazy as possible. So I like to pick different venues, but also the idea is Beef Ghost. Like she will come when she's ready. Like it's, there's no telling when Beef Ghost will rise. So it's always really fun. It's really fun with promotion and stuff. So the last one I did was at a mausoleum that I rented out. It was the Halloween show. It was the best day of my literal fucking life.
I love everything about that.
Thanks. I'm hoping to do it more. The mausoleum, it was just all these really lovely people. It's the Green Lawn Abbey. And they basically, it's all like volunteer work and stuff. They put on movies there and stuff. It's amazing. But they were so confused on what I was doing. And I was like, if you hate me, I'll just never do it again. Yeah. They were obsessed. They had the best time ever. They're always saying, come back anytime to do a little beefing ghost. And I'm like, thank you. So hopefully we'll do another one there. Yeah. But yeah, it's really fun. It's super stupid, but it's literally my fucking Super Bowl, dude.
Right. No, that's like just so awesome. I remember the first time you tell me about Beef Ghost. I'm like, as like a comedy fan and like a metalhead, I'm like the idea of like slaughter and laughter is like perfect.
Laughter. Isn't that weird? My brother also pointed that out to me for like the first time like a year ago. I was like, oh wow, never noticed.
It's supposed to slaughter about laughter.
That's so stupid. Anyway.
I'm experimental in the themes, but like I really want to get experimental with the venue. Like later in the year, I really want to like branch out in terms of like where I do stand up. I did stand up in a graveyard for the first time in I think it was like September, maybe.
I'm so jealous.
It was all right. It's a stretch to call it stand up. So I did this like cemetery walk thing, and I was just a presenter, and I dressed up like this dead Civil War general.
This is amazing.
But I made sure that I peppered in my historical facts with some punch up,
Fuck yeah.
And so and I got more laughs there than I've got at a lot of shows. So
dude, okay, wait. I've always wanted to be a tour guide at a national park because I think I'd fucking crush.
Yes.
Dude, right? Like once you learn all the facts and if you get used to it and like all the scenes and stuff, I'd be like, hey, that's where da 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 blah blah. I don't know. I don't know what I'd say because I've never done it.
Right.
But I bet that was so fucking fun.
Oh, it was. It was.
Oh my god.
Stood there the whole time and like there's I think there's a picture on there somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
which cemetery?
The one actually right down the road from me, Cedar Hill Cemetery.
Okay, Cedar Hills.
Yeah.
I saw on the way to your house that one of your neighbors sells headstones out of your yard.
Oh yeah, the monument place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun side business.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you come out this whole end of town, like in Newark, the East End, for a long time had a really bad stigma because it was like closer to downtown. Like as soon as you crossed over the bridge of downtown onto the east side where the jail is, that used to be like really, really, really bad. And they've cleaned up since then. But like I tell people I live out on the East End and they think it's like crime stuff. No, it's like a new housing addition. But before that, it's just the gravestone place and then a bunch of warehouses.
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
Yeah.
Literally describes exactly where I live.
I mean, it's soulless industry. Both are soulless industries, but
Sure, yeah. That's so funny. I live near a graveyard, by a trailer park, and right around the corner from a bunch of empty industrial warehouses.
Yeah.
Which I just found out. There was like a double homicide down the street the other night. in one of the warehouses where they opened an underground club.
Wow.
So just fun stuff. But it's so funny because I feel so safe where I live.
Yeah.
And your neighborhood's so cute.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
I'll tell the people that built it.
Yeah, that's right.
So when I went to BG, they actually have a cemetery on campus.
Ooh.
And like as a former emo kid, I loved everything about it. That might have been exactly what swung me on BG too.
Fuck yeah.
And it's right by the music building. I was like, so I had to walk by the cemetery on my way to do piano lessons.
Kicking rocks. My mom will never understand.
Exactly. I was like, every time I would like sit down at the piano, the first things I would play is like the first notes of My Immortal. I am so tired of being here. But now also speaking of like the double homicide thing too, I went to Pittsburgh. Not where this is going, but I went to Pittsburgh. My dad's from there. Well, he lived in like a coal mining town, like 20 minutes out of Pittsburgh. And without even using GPS, I just used pure childhood memory of like the watching from the backseat of my parents' van. I found my way to his hometown and like went to like the grandpa's house from childhood memory.
I feel like I can do the same thing. Like that's how I map shit in my head. Okay, please continue.
Yeah,
I love that.
So I was like, I didn't tell my dad I was going to. So like I pull off and like I park right in front of his grandpa's house, and then I FaceTime him from the back. And I was like, hey, you'll never guess where my GPS took me, you know?
Yeah.
And then so like I'm driving around town. He's giving me a tour that he probably never thought a kid would want to hear.
Yeah.
And I was like, halfway through, I'm like, hey, of all of these stories you're telling me, are any of them happy? They all like every house he would see, he was like, and that's where someone hung themselves, and it's like, and that's where Babe Lepro burned his head off when he tripped into the fireplace.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm like, no wonder you fucking moved out of here. This place is more depressing than Newark.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Fun. We love a daddy tour.
Exactly.
A daddy downer tour. Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Choo-choo.
Yeah. Every single one is like, who died in this house? I'm like, God damn it.
That's where Gary beat his wife to death with fork.
Yes.
He's crazy.
Yeah. She used a spoon because she wanted it to hurt more.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But
that's so nice of him.
Yeah. We were talking about there was something I wanted to bring up and I kind of already forgot, but we were talking about death.
Graveyards. Shows. I've had one fucking beer, I swear to God. What the hell?
Well, your body's kind of going through this like constant shift because you have the downer of the alcohol and the upper of the Red Bull.
Aren't they fun?
Yeah, you're just doing like a less extreme version of a Four Loko right now.
That's right. Yeah.
Which of course, again, another proud entry from OSU, the Four Loko.
The Four Loko.
Yeah, Four Loko, B-dubs, like the things OSU has done for bro culture is incredible.
It's incredible. They're just getting stronger.
Yeah, they're. Do you know actually? So I didn't know that one on Lane was like the original B-dubs.
Oh,
that is like the first B-dubs. Yeah.
That's okay. I did not know that either.
Yeah. It was people that went to school in Buffalo, or they're from Buffalo. They went to school in OSU.
Oh, okay.
And then they opened it up because they're like, we want good buffalo wings and we want beef on weck sandwiches.
Sure.
And they don't do beef on weck sandwiches.
What is that?
It's just like a really good roast beef sandwich.
Oh, okay.
I don't know exactly what makes it so much more different. Well, it's on like a seeded rye bun, I think.
Oh, that sounds great.
And yeah, it is. I had it when I went to Buffalo one time.
Nice.
Also very underrated pizza for Buffalo too. I went to Canada when I first started because I was so cocky. I was like, I've been killing it at these like 3 Columbus open mics. Time to take it international.
Wow. Okay.
We have a family friend that lives like 45 minutes from Toronto. So I was like, I'll go visit him. I'll stay with him because, cheaper. And then I'll hit up the Yuck Yucks in Toronto. And I was originally also going to, I had the whole week off work. So I was going to start in Toronto at Tuesday and then make my way to Montreal and then come back down through like upstate New York, all that, see like the castles and stuff.
Fuck yeah.
But then it was right around like the time of like tax season, and I didn't realize that my city tax check hadn't already came out, or I thought it already had. And then I checked my account, and here I am is straight like in Wednesday in Canada.
2 days in.
2 days in. 2 days in, and I checked my account, and I had like $300 to last me until.
Oh my god!
So immediately I'm like, I had to like cancel like my booking for Montreal.
No.
And then the room, not the show. I wasn't being booked back then.
Yeah.
But I had to cancel my room in Montreal, and then I just immediately go back down to Buffalo. I crashed with a friend of a friend that lived in Niagara Falls.
Nice.
But then, yeah, and so I never got to see Montreal because, again, taxes.
Taxes, American taxes.
That's right.
That sucks. I've been to Toronto once, and I had the best time ever.
Toronto's maybe like my second or third favorite like big city. I love Toronto.
Yeah. I went during actually a now ex-boyfriend took me for my birthday, which is in January. And I think the intentions were good. I never felt like he loved me. But I think the intentions were like, it's your birthday, I'm gonna take you somewhere. So there was a band we really liked, and they were playing there. And we were also trying to pinch pennies and stuff. And so we drove to Toledo, where he was from. His dad drove us to the border. We got put on a train to take to Toronto. I was like, that's kind of fun. Like, I'm down with that, you know?
Yeah.
And while we're on the train, we get all the alerts for the polar vortex, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, isn't it more snowy up there?
Yes.
And I was like, okay. And then while we're on the train, like, okay, a little bit of snow. That's okay. It's never hurt nobody. We can track it. We got this. And then while we're still on the 3-hour fucking train ride, we get another alert, and the band was like, we're not coming there. It's too snowy. And we're like, no. But then we were there, and the Airbnb he got was like basically a haunted old woman who probably was just a ghost renting out the cold-ass garage above her fucking garage. Like, it was like just a double, like, it was like the loft of a fucking garage. I was like, I'm sorry, but this is where raccoons sleep, dude.
Right.
And he's like, $50 a night. And I was like, I am not pretentious or high maintenance, but there's a polar vortex, and fuck you.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're in this, like, you know, squirrel lair. The heat went out. We were wearing all of our clothes under the blanket. We ordered a pizza for warmth. Okay. We ordered a pizza, put the covers over the pizza, and we're like using it for warmth, and then
Kumbaya, my lord.
Yeah, it was so fucked. But anyway, we still had the best time. And it was like 2 feet of snow. A lot of Ubers were like calling Ubers, and they're like, we can't even drive.
Right.
So we were just like,
they were sorry about it though.
They were sorry. They were, you know, always 5 stars, always 25% tips. Let's go.
Always.
Even if you can't drive us anywhere. But dude, I was like, this city's so fun. All the bartenders and everything were so gracious and kind. And like, obviously we weren't from there, but we did sneak to a comedy show one night, and I fell in love with this handful of like amazing Toronto comics that I still follow to this day. Oh my god!
Awesome!
What a time!
Yeah, best burger I ever had in my life was in Toronto.
Whoa!
Yep, at the Holy Chuck.
What?
Yep. It was like, I mean,
on my list.
So where the Yuck Yucks is, it was like you take a block over, and then it was like maybe 9 blocks down from the Yuck Yucks. And yeah, my Canadian connections, they recommended it, and like I said, best burger I ever had. I had this, it's just like a super like deluxe, like almost like butter burger. Ooh. Like just like caramelized onions, a little bit of butter. They had some peppered bacon on there. Yeah. And then of course poutine with it. For like $30 you could have got foie gras poutine, but I was like, I'm not that fancy. And then I still had time to kill. I went to there was 2 blocks away from the Yuck Yucks. There's the world famous Toronto Hooters, as seen in the movie Big Daddy. Oh my god! If I don't quote that fucking movie every day. Yep, I'll say that very Hooters the movie ended in. I was there. Oh my god! But which means Jon Stewart was in there. Yes. Wow. Man, I'll say pre Daily Show Jon Stewart. I love seeing the few times he would pop up. But so I was like, he clearly didn't love you if he took you to Canada in January. That polar vortex. So that really dates the story here. That was my first winter carrying mail, And I fortunately that day I was on a mostly driving route.
Oh my God.
Like it was only about an hour of it. I had to be like out of the truck walking. The rest of it was all driving. But
it's an hour too long, I did.
Absolutely. Oh, I walked, I waddled. Like I felt like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man because I just had so many layers on. I had like 2 different gloves, 3 different socks, 2 underwear. Yeah, just I doubled up on everything. 2 coats.
That's
2 chains. No.
2 chains. I was just thinking, like, as a male person, like on those days, I'm just like, first of all, like I could never do that. Like I
barely can. So.
Dude, I just feel like some days, like days like that, especially, I'd be like, do you really need these ads from Joanne Fabrics?
No,
they don't.
But
damn.
No, I had the opposite end of the spectrum though, because my birthday is the end of June. And now 2 years ago, well, what will be 2 years ago, we went to Jamaica.
Oh, gorge.
Well, yes, but also 98 degrees in the shade.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Not pretty.
and like we stayed at an all-inclusive resort. It was myself and my parents, and our rooms were air conditioned, and that was it. Anywhere else was not air conditioned, and everything is like very
like restaurants and stuff too.
Restaurants were all open air. Yeah, exactly. That's where I got really miserable because like you're eating spicy jerk chicken in like this like 98 degree weather.
Dude, I literally fucking hate my friends that want to sit on a patio. Sorry, all of you, go to hell.
Exactly.
Like go to hell and eat that
seriously
hot ass food.
The dirty look I shoot people when they're like, let's go out to the patio. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry you smoke, but you can go outside. I'm not going back out.
You can step out whenever you want, but I'll be in here.
Yeah.
Dude, what? How long were you there?
Just a week.
Okay.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still fun, but and then I did but then I learned that lesson. Then the next time I did a all-inclusive, and I went just by myself this time. I went to the Dominican in November.
Nice.
And that one was much better because it's like I think the hottest it ever got was like 87.
Gorgeous.
That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous, especially in November because like it was like 50 or 40 before I went. But then when I got back off the plane, I forgot to pack anything long. So I walk off looking like a tourist. I'm like in my Miller High Life Hawaiian shirt, cargo shorts, stepdad sandals.
Yeah.
And the night I got back, because also my flight came in at like 11:20 at night.
Okay.
In Columbus, and I think it was like 33.
Okay, because I was about to say, I was like,
that
listen,
walk.
I think you're a smart guy, but also like, what are you, a 29-year-old toddler?
Right.
Come on, you know you're going to your cold ass fucking home state.
I know.
That sucks.
I know. It was more just that little walk. In I don't know what you call it, the connector thing to the airport.
Oh, you mean the plane sleeve?
The plane sleeve.
Yeah.
The airport umbilical cord.
Yeah. After you leave the placenta?
Yes.
Yeah. To the motherland.
The placenta.
One of my friends is a stewardess, and I think she's going to choke me to death if she ever listens to this.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a good thing that this is later in the podcast, but because by now people probably have shifted off.
Yeah, they're up. Oh god.
I was like, that's why I plugged early. That's why I plugged the show early too.
That's right.
Because it's
April
like
1st.
April 1st.
And that's not an April Fool's joke.
It is not.
If it is, then he's really mean because I'm convinced that there is a show. Fuck you.
I'd be like the most successful gaslighter ever.
Yeah, you and my ex.
Yeah.
Nice. You keep me your next guest.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's great.
Or is he going to be my next guest?
Oh. God.
I'm just kidding. Gaslighting's not real.
Is this a therapy session? Wow. How's your red juice? Nice and warm?
Oh yeah. It's
flat, even.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very. Yeah, you can see maybe like 4 bubbles there.
That's
yeah.
Right.
I'll say that's sheets from last night, and I did not put it in the refrigerator, so room temperature.
Dude, you're bold as hell. You're not like a bedside room temp soda drinker, are you?
No, not normally.
Okay, cool.
I'm just feeling extra down today, so I'm like, fuck it, this might as well happen.
Dude, live your life.
Yeah.
So I was already kind of running late to this podcast with you, as you knew,
Mm-hmm.
but I really wanted like a small pep, and like I'll do Red Bulls, try not to a lot, but you know, My teeth are really shitty. That's why I do sugar free. I don't care about my body. But dude, I was like, oh my god, like you're running late for something. But I go to this fucking gas station. There's one other person in front of me, and it's just like fucking sweet old lady on crutches, which is just like just sad. It's just sad. It's a sad view, and she's just like on crutches, and like obviously she's really good friends with like the gas attendant person, and I'm like just waiting there with this one Red Bull, like, okay, are your transactions done? Right. And even the lady behind the counter, she like looked at me, saw I just had like one Red Bull, and like in her head was probably like, she has nowhere to be. And I was like, fuck. And I'm just too nice, and I was just smiling like, take your time. Take your time. But the whole time I was like, hurry the fuck up. And I was like, well, this lady's on crutches. So even when they finally said goodbye after like 2 minutes more of talking while I'm obviously standing there, the lady like waddled away. And then like had another thought and was like, oh, by the way. And I was like, I'm going to fucking kick a crutch. I'm gonna kick a crutch. So anyway, I didn't kick her. So she hustled away eventually.
But you reminded me of, we're calling out some pet peeves here. 2 more, and then we will have to eventually start wrapping it up here. But anyway, 2 pet peeves that you just reminded me of. So number 1 is people that play the lottery.
Ooh, okay.
Only when I'm late in a hurry. In my prime example, this was like, I don't know how long ago it was. Whenever Venom Let There Be Carnage came out, I was
Oh yeah, of course I know.
Yeah.
Go on, I'm on the same page.
Yeah, that's summer blockbuster. Yeah. So I was meeting a couple friends. We were going to watch the movie in the theater, and I was like, it was the first time in my life I decided I'm going to sneak in snacks. I had never done it. I was 28 or 29.
Love that.
When I stuck in snacks for the first time. And like
feeling.
it really was.
Petty crime.
Like I got exactly. I got my Sour Patch watermelons. I got some like mini Kit Kats. I think I even got like some Skittles or something. I don't know. But yeah, I loaded up what was gonna be my pockets, and I get up there and we're at a Turkey Hill, and there's 2 people. And now I'm actually, for the first time ever, I'm actually running a little early. And most people don't believe me when I say that because I'm a very late person. I was like, I actually left when I was supposed to. I was going to get there with like 5 minutes to spare. First person is having the biggest like deal with the gas pump like not working, and like to the point that they had to make multiple trips in and out with the lady working.
Oh my god!
Exactly, and already I'm getting really like. I'm like visibly shaking.
My movie's starting.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, now I'm going to be late for the movie I was going to be early for. It takes about 5 minutes for that whole debacle to finally work itself out. The next lady in front of me throws down a couple of scratch offs. And I was like, if I had that Venom symbiote that Venom has, I would have ate her in front of her. Just bite her head off. Just
dude.
I was like, I had a pencil. I was like, I kind of want to stab her.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a violent person, but like in that moment, I was just like, you know what? I can get a felony out. My parents will pay a bail. I don't care.
You're like, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, it's an annoying thing to be slowed down for. And like, my family gives scratch off lottery tickets as like, holiday gifts, like every Christmas for like, I don't know, just scratch these. If you win, it's fun. But like, I'm so delicate about when I go turn them in, right?
Yeah.
Go really early. I try to go to the Kroger customer service area because I'm like, sorry, so annoying.
Yeah.
I have these stupid pieces of paper and you owe me $20 for some reason. Anyway.
Actually, before I get to the last pet peeve, what is the most audacious thing you've stuck into a movie theater? Like beyond snack. Like have you gone past like snacks?
Either liquor or my high school boyfriend's finger in my pussy. So,
like you snuck it in, like not even like before you sat down.
Yeah, I was like, "All right, Spencer, get it in there."
You just like clamped it off. You like had to hold the nub for a little bit. So like
we wore a big coat.
you can have this back when we sit down.
Yeah, no. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Plop it in like a vending machine,
That's definitely the most nervous I've been in a movie theater.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've never done that. No. After Venom happened though, and by the way, I almost got caught sneaking in snacks.
Shut up!
The first time ever, I almost got caught.
By a teen girl.
Guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Scraggly peach or scraggly neck beard.
It's like here's the thing. Like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. Oh, and the thing is, the theater was like there was like maybe 10 people tops.
Yeah.
And 3 of them were 3 of them were me and my 2 friends. And we were in like kind of the back, whatever. And one of the only other seats was like basically like they were like a row off. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to sit with us. So they got a guy, but I was on the outside and I wasn't like focused on what was doing. All I see is a guy coming up right as I'm whipping out the snacks from my pockets. And immediately I sit on him real quick and I'm like having to be suspicious about it. But ever since then, I did sneak a whole Reuben sandwich into a movie.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Did you get to eat it while you were there?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that a lot.
And then there was, I think I forgot my last pet peeve. It was the lottery. And yeah, the lottery is just a pet peeve as a whole.
I think it's such a general one, but I think it's I get really interested to see what my friends think about it. Just using a turn signal. Yeah. It's the very basic way that you can communicate with people around you, and the people that you make a good habit of it. I make a good habit of it, right?
Right.
Even if no one's around, I'm switching lanes, turn signal, let's go. But also it's just people that don't use it and make turns and then get mad at you. I don't like to say I hate anybody, but I do wish the nastiest deaths upon people that don't use their turn signals, because you're being a selfish little fucking cunt. Yep. And if you're not going to just warn people what your next move is, you kind of deserve to die in a ditch, in my opinion. Yeah. I get so mad. Right. Well, it's just the simplest. It's literally the tip of your fucking finger, and you're just going to risk other people's lives because you're that fucking lazy. Yeah. Fine. Just burn in hell.
Never ever forget that you are operating a 2-ton piece of metal that could kill anything it comes in contact with if you're not careful. Yeah. And and I hate it too, because my car's left turn signal, I will hit it and it will shut itself off every now and then. Annoying. And then I get pissed because now I'm like, oh shit, I use my turn signal, but they think I'm a bad driver when I'm not.
Oh, that's the worst.
The car's gaslighting me.
This car, what kind of car do you have?
Ford Fusion.
This car's, yeah.
Yeah.
This Ford Fusion is gaslighting me.
It is. It is gaslighting me whenever it hits 30 miles till empty, though.
Damn. Okay, Con Daddy.
I
like that.
Yeah. By the way, a lot of people after I recorded my special, they had 2.
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shit.
No, I wasn't even trying to humble brag that. No, so the biggest complaint I got was that it wasn't punny enough.
Excuse me?
So guess what? My next special, which I'm already actively starting to write for, is called You Asked For It.
I love it.
Parentheses, the punishment.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it's going to be salacious, very words.
We don't have them.
Ethereal. No, that's not the word. Fuck it. All right.
Fuck it.
I'll edit that out in post. But there's going to be venom. There's going to be venom behind the puns. So,
I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, I also can't wait for April 1st. Homestead Cherry Valley Public House. Come witness the absolutely hilarious Amber Falter. Also got Tony Cruz, Emma Cackley, myself, unfortunately. And it'll be one of my last shows for the spring. So this is one you do not want to miss. Also, Amber, where else can people follow you? How can they support?
Honestly, just my Instagram. It's my whole, I guess, Christian given name for some reason. I just want to be stalked and murdered. Please don't. But it's Amber Marie Falter on Instagram. So yeah.
Awesome. And I'll say stay tuned for more episodes. Again, come out, see us. It's gonna be funny. If not for me, for her for sure. Her for sure. Herbiger. And ending it with our Herman the German.
That's right. Herman the German. That's it. That's all we have.
Stay tuned for more. Have a good night.
Thanks for the salt pie.
Yeah.
It's fucking good.
I'd say so much sodium.
So much.